Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we break down all the latest news on finances, retirement, and everything that matters to you as you navigate life after a long career or while dealing with life's unexpected challenges. Imagine this. You're checking your mailbox or your bank account one day, and there it is. An unexpected deposit of $1,400 just sitting there, like a little gift from the government to help ease the pressure of everyday expenses. For many seniors relying on Social Security, SSDI or SSI, this isn't just a dream. It's something that's actually happening right now for some folks. But hold on, before you get too excited, let's dive into what this really means, because there's a lot of buzz out there, and not all of it is accurate. Today, we're talking about that extra cash hitting accounts for eligible seniors, a one-time bonus tied to past relief efforts that's making waves again in 2025. We'll unpack the details, the history behind it, who qualifies, and why it's showing up now, all while keeping things straightforward so you can decide if this applies to you. Stick around, because by the end, you'll have a clear picture of how this could impact your wallet and what steps to take next. Now, let's get into the heart of this discussion in a way that feels like we're just chatting over coffee, but with all the facts laid out clearly. You see, the idea of extra cash for seniors isn't new. It's rooted in the government's response to tough times, like the economic fallout from the pandemic that shook everyone a few years back. Back then, millions of Americans, including those on Social Security benefits, received stimulus payments to help cover basics like groceries, rent, and medical bills. These weren't handouts. They were designed as economic boosters to keep money flowing through the system when things were grinding to a halt. For seniors who often live on fixed incomes, these payments were a lifeline, especially since many face rising costs for healthcare, housing, and even simple things like utilities. The specific $1,400 amount we're hearing about today traces back to the third round of those stimulus checks, officially called Economic Impact Payments, which were rolled out under the American Rescue Plan in 2021. That plan aimed to provide direct relief to individuals and families, with the $1,400 per person being the headline figure for most eligible adults. But here's where it gets interesting. Not everyone got theirs right away, and that's why some seniors are seeing this money pop up as a bonus in 2025. It's not a brand new program cooked up this year. It's the government catching up on what was owed from that earlier effort. Think of it like finding an old check in a drawer that you forgot to cash. Only this time, the IRS is the one reminding you and sending it out automatically to many who missed it. To really understand why this is relevant now, we need to step back and look at the bigger picture of how Social Security works alongside these kinds of relief measures. Social Security, or what many call retirement benefits, is the program that pays out monthly checks to folks who've worked and paid into the system over their careers, typically starting at age 62 or later. Then there's SSDI, which stands for Social Security Disability Insurance. That's for people who've become disabled before reaching retirement age but have enough work credits from their past jobs. And SSI, Supplemental Security Income, is a bit different. It's needs-based, helping low-income individuals, including seniors and those with disabilities, who might not have a long work history. All three programs serve seniors in various ways, with overlapping beneficiaries, and they've been adjusted over time to account for inflation and economic shifts. In 2025, for instance, there's a cost of living adjustment, or COLA, that's bumping up payments by 2.5% across the board, which means an average increase of about $50 a month for retirees. That's helpful, but it's ongoing support, not a lump sum. The $1,400 one-time payment, on the other hand, is more like a catch-up from the past, specifically tied to that 2021 stimulus that some people overlooked or didn't claim properly on their taxes. The IRS recently announced they're sending out these payments automatically to around 1 million taxpayers who filed their 2021 returns but left the recovery rebate credit section blank or put 0 when they were actually eligible. For seniors on these benefits, this could mean extra cash arriving by direct deposit or check, often without them having to do anything extra, as long as their information is up to date with the government. Diving deeper, Let's talk about why so many seniors might have missed this in the first place and how it's being rectified now. During the height of the pandemic, the stimulus rolls were chaotic for some. People on SSI or SSDI were supposed to get their payments automatically, without needing to file a tax return, because the IRS coordinated with the Social Security Administration to use existing data. But glitches happened. Maybe someone had recently changed addresses, or their banking info wasn't current, or perhaps they were non-filers who didn't submit taxes because their income was too low. Others might have filed a return, but forgot to claim the recovery rebate credit, which is essentially the tax code's way of giving you credit for a stimulus payment you didn't receive. Fast forward to 2025, and the IRS is combing through records, identifying those gaps, and issuing payments to close them. These aren't taxable, and importantly for seniors on SSI, they don't count against your resource limits or affect eligibility for benefits like Medicaid or food assistance. That's a big relief because SSI has strict rules on how much money you can have in the bank without losing benefits, usually around $2,000 for individuals. But these stimulus recoveries are treated as exempt, so you can save or spend them without worry. For those who haven't filed a 2021 return at all, there was a deadline of April 15, 2025, to submit one and claim the credit, even if you had little to no income that year. If you're a senior who thinks this might apply, checking your My Social Security account or contacting the IRS could be key to unlocking that extra $1,400. Building on that, it's worth exploring the broader context of how these programs have evolved to support seniors through economic ups and downs. Social Security started back in the 1930s as a response to the Great Depression, when many older Americans were left destitute without pensions or savings. Over the decades, it's expanded to include disability benefits through SSDI in the 1950s and SSI in the 1970s, to cover those who didn't qualify for the main program. Today, over 72 million people rely on these payments, with seniors making up a huge portion. The pandemic highlighted vulnerabilities, leading to those 3 rounds of stimulus, one $200 in 2020, $600 later that year, and then the $400 in 2021. For seniors, especially those on fixed incomes, inflation has been a silent thief, eroding purchasing power even as benefits adjust annually. That's why the COLA is calculated based on the Consumer Price Index, tracking costs for things like food and housing. In 2025, with inflation cooling, the adjustment is modest compared to higher ones in recent years, like 8.7% in 2023. But that $400 bonus acts as a bridge, providing immediate relief for unexpected expenses, perhaps a medical bill or home repair. Some states are stepping in too. For example, California issued a one-time $600 supplemental payment to SSI recipients to ease hardship, showing how federal and state efforts can layer on support. Not every senior will get this federal $400 though. Eligibility hinges on 2021 income levels under $75,000 for singles or $150,000 for couples, and having a valid Social Security number without being claimed as a dependent. If you received partial payments back then, you might get the difference now. As we keep unpacking this, consider the stories of real people who've benefited from similar catch-ups in the past. I've heard from viewers who were surprised by deposits after thinking they'd missed the boat entirely. One gentleman in his 70s on SSDI told me it covered a new set of hearing aids he couldn't afford otherwise. These payments aren't just numbers, they represent stability in a world where costs keep climbing. For SSI recipients, who often have the lowest incomes, this extra cash could mean stocking up on essentials, or even affording a small treat to brighten the day. The IRS's push in 2025 to clear these backlogs is part of a broader effort to improve taxpayer services, including reminders via letters to those eligible. But beware of scams. With all this talk of bonuses, fraudsters pose as government officials asking for personal info. Always verify through official channels like ssa.gov or irs.gov. Looking ahead, while there's no guarantee of new federal stimulus, proposals like the American Worker Rebate Act float ideas for future relief, though they're just talks for now. In the meantime, Seniors can maximize benefits by staying informed about changes, like the increased SSI federal amounts for 2025, 967 for individuals, and 1,750 for couples. Combining this with the potential $1,400 means a stronger financial footing for many. Expanding further on the mechanics, let's clarify how these payments integrate with your existing benefits. For Social Security retirees, the $1,400 won't alter your monthly check. It's separate, deposited into the same account, or mailed to your address on file. SSDI folks, who might be younger seniors under 66, qualify similarly, since their program mirrors retirement in many ways. SSI users, however, have to be careful with how they handle the money. While it's exempt, documenting it as a stimulus recovery helps if questions arise during reviews. Historically, these relief efforts have boosted the economy by encouraging spending, which in turn supports jobs and communities where seniors live. Think about it. That extra cash might go to local stores, helping small businesses thrive. Amid ongoing debates about Social Security's solvency, projections show the trust fund could face shortfalls by the 2030s without reforms. This kind of one-time aid reminds us of the government's role in safeguarding vulnerable groups. Recent laws, like the Social Security Fairness Act, are already providing retroactive boosts to some by eliminating reductions for those with public pensions, potentially adding hundreds or thousands in back pay. For seniors juggling multiple income sources, this layers on even more support. If you're wondering about your status, tools like the IRS's online account or Social Security's My Account portal let you check without hassle. To keep you engaged, let's think about the ripple effects this has on daily life for seniors. Picture a widow on SSI using that $1,400 to fix her car, ensuring she can get to doctor's appointments independently. Or a retired couple on Social Security splurging on a family visit they postponed due to tight budgets. These aren't hypotheticals. They're the real impacts of policies designed with everyday people in mind. The 2021 stimulus was part of a $1.9 trillion package that also expanded child tax credits and unemployment aid, showing a holistic approach to recovery. Now, as we sit in 2025 with inflation at bay, but costs still high for basics like prescription drugs, this bonus serves as a timely reminder to review your finances. Perhaps pair it with energy assistance programs or senior discounts to stretch it further. And for those on SSDI transitioning to retirement benefits at full age, understanding how this fits in prevents surprises. The government's digital push means more online applications for SSI simplifications starting late 2024, making it easier to apply or update info. All this ties back to empowering seniors to live with dignity, free from constant worry about the next bill. Wrapping things up, we've covered a lot today, from the origins of that $1,400 bonus in the 2021 stimulus to how it's landing in seniors' pockets in 2025 as a one-time extra for those on Social Security, SSDI, and SSI who missed it before. It's not a universal payout, but for the eligible, it's a welcome boost amid steady but modest annual increases. Remember, this is about more than money. It's a nod to the resilience of seniors who've contributed so much over the years. Take a moment to reflect. How might this or similar supports change your plans? Check your accounts, stay vigilant against misinformation, and consider sharing your story in the comments. It helps others. If this video helped, hit that like button, subscribe for more updates, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on ways to secure your future. Thanks for watching, and take care out there.